And welcome to the U.S. Olympic Training Site in Colorado Springs, Colorado. The incredibly loud U.S. Olympic Training Site. Jaguar 14 AA team is going up against Colorado Springs Tigers 14 AA. We are missing Grayson today, but everybody else seems to be on the ice, ready to go. We're hoping to have at least a better showing than we did yesterday. It was a little rough playing at South Suburban. And for all of you tuning into the Doyle Sports Network, expecting the dulcet tones of Brian and the fiery commentary of Stephanie, I'll be filling in. I'm Dan. I'm Sawyer's dad, one of the goaltenders. I believe Christian will be starting in net today. As is probably evident, it's challenging to find a good spot to broadcast from in this rink, unless you're really into looking at netting and the supports along the glass. Looking at Colorado Springs' record, they are 2-3. Your Jags are 1-3. As far as I can tell, the only common opponent so far is Arapahoe. They lost to Arapahoe last weekend, 2-4. Less said about our game against Arapahoe, the better. And we've got 16 on the clock, and we'll get this game started. Alex on the face-off. Tigers bring it into our zone. Dump it to the end boards. Connor chips it back for Gubitos. Skates it up the near boards. And it's turned around at the blue line. Henrik digging for it. Bouncing out to the top of the slot. A shot and a save by Christian. He hangs on with 15:38 left in the first. Face off in the near dot, near the natural spotlights in the corner. Tigers control, a nice poke check at the top of the slot. Puck not able to come out of the zone. Centering pass blocked by Connor. Loose puck comes at the far boards. Ezra digging for it. Tied up in the skates. Still tied up along the boards. Comes out to the blue line, but kept in our zone. Dump to the near corner. Hendrick skates behind our net. Tied up in the far corner with the Tigers and the puck. Back and forth. Connor Bruce picks it up behind our net. Passes up for Bots. Doesn't connect. Bots gets put on his backside. Puck loose at the side of the net. Comes across to the far boards for Ezra. He has it taken away at the blue line. Tigers walking in. And that shot goes wide of the net. Tommy digging for it along the near boards. That was Cam, not Tommy. And bouncing out of the zone. Ezra with a nice poke check, regaining the puck and dumping it to the far corner, deep in the offensive zone. Tigers bring it out of their end. Tied up with Ezra in neutral zone. And they come into our zone. Turned around, passed across the blue line. And Tigers throw it around behind our net. McKenna pressuring the play along the far boards. Pushes the puck over for Anthony. He throws it to the near corner. Kellen brings it to behind our net. Gets tied up. Puck comes loose. Comes back to Kellen. And he passes it out to neutral all the way down the ice. It'll be icing with 13:45. They say no icing. I'm not sure why. Tigers skating it, tipped out into the neutral zone. They skate into our end. Nice poke check in the corner. And Tigers regain the puck. Tied up in the corner again. And comes out to the blue line. Pass blocked. And stolen by Teague. He skates all the way down the ice. Shot and a save by the goaltender. Tigers pick up the rebound, turn around behind their own net. Pass hit a skate, and it's loose down the ice. Holden skating back, picking up the near corner. Throwing around the far boards. Tied up in the corner. Still along the far boards. Finally comes out. Connor digging for it. Max with a tip. And comes back to Max. And that's not Max. Into the far corner. Tigers pick it up, turn it around. Pushed up the far boards. Tigers skate through neutral into our zone. To the side of the net. A shot and a stick save by Christian, and he hangs on. 12:22 left in the first period. Still 0-0. Off the face-off, comes out to the blue line and jumps back to the near corner. Henrik picks it up behind our net, pushes it to the far corner. Tied up along the boards. Tommy swipes at it. Puck comes to Alex. He skates through the neutral zone. Lost the handle as it comes to the end board. Sends it to the far corner. Send it to the side of the net. Goes back to Alex. Tries to center, and it's taken away. Tigers throwing it through neutral. And it'll be icing with 11:50 left in the first. We'll go back down to their end for another face-off. Teague on the face-off. Puts it over for Max. Chips it back for Teague. Kept in the offensive zone. Passes up for tip to the near corner. And it comes back up the near boards. Out to neutral. Pass over to McKenna. She has it taken away. Walks in a shot wide of the net. Bouncing up the near boards. Max chips it to the neutral zone. Nope. Didn't get it out. Tigers. Missed the puck. McKenna sends it to the top of the face-off circle. There's a shot blocked in front coming to the near boards. Tigers regain the puck. Puck comes to Alex, or to Max. He passes over to Kellen, who skates through neutral into the offensive zone. His shot is blocked, goes to the far corner. Max picks it up, centering pass, missed on the shot. Holden takes a long shot, tipped on goal and just wide. Puck comes out to the near face-off circle, a shot on goal, but it comes off the side of the net, tied up behind, and the Tigers come out with the puck out to neutral. Henrik picks it up, passes it across for Max. Max turns it towards the offensive end and dumps it on goal. Goaltender sweeps it to his player in his end. Tigers bring it up the near boards, out to neutral. Bots turns it around, sends it back into their end. Nice pressure in their zone. It's passed across to the far boards and out of their zone. Henrik sends it back in. Tigers pick it up, throw it off the near boards. And it's tipped all the way down the ice. Ezra picks it up in the near corner, chips it behind our net. Tigers pick it up in the far corner. Taken down, tied up in skates. Tigers regain it. Shot goes to the near corner, and the Tigers drag it back out. And a long shot, saved by Christian. Rebound goes to the far corner. Henrik tying up the player. Puck comes to the back of the net, thrown in front. Pass to the slot, and a shot and a save by Christian. Tigers tried to sweep the rebound in. Christian was able to cover with 9:34 left in the first period, keeping it 0-0. Alex on the face-off. McKenna sends it up the far boards, kept in our zone. A long shot blocked. Tommy took it on the chin. He's going off. Puck comes back to Tiger zone. Back behind their own net. Turn around in the far corner. Back behind their own net again. Tigers coming out to neutral. Top of the slot. Sent to the far corner by Connor. Tigers bring it back to the near boards. Another shot. And I'm not sure where that one went. It ends up in the far corner. Pass back out to the blue line. Bounces over the stick and out to their zone. Bouncing out through neutral. Connor Bruce picks it up. Passes to Gubatos, and Gubatos dumps it into the offensive zone. Teague pressuring. Tigers come back out to the neutral zone, tip towards our zone. And we'll have a whistle for icing I think. 8:21 left in the first. We'll go back down to their zone for another face-off. Teague on the face-off. He gets kicked out of the face-off. Max stepping in. Tied up with the flare. It comes to the near corner. Tigers sweep it out from behind their own net. Pass up the near boards. Out to neutral. Skidded into our zone. To the side of the net. Tries to center. It's blocked by Holden. Turned around behind our net. Honor passes up for Max at the blue line. He skates through center. Into the offensive zone. Has it taken away. Tigers pass it down the blue line. Lost the handle at our blue line. Holden turns around, sends it deep into their zone. We'll be icing again. We'll come back down to our end for another face-off. Cam on the face-off. Ooh, right on goal. Christian had to sweep it behind the net. Hendrick picks it up, pass up to Bots. Bots digging for it. It comes to the blue line, but not out. Long shot blocked in front. Tiger's still digging for it. Shot just wide. Bots picks it up in the corner, tries to send it up the boards. Hendrick ties up the player, sends the puck to the far corner. And puck loose in the skates. Tigers come out with it. Bots sweeps it out. Tigers keep it in the offensive zone. A long shot and a glove save by Christian. Well, it was a catch. It was well wide, but it was still a catch. We'll count it. 7:03 left in the first period. Ref was upset with something with their face-off setup. Long shot and a goal. Puck came out to the top of the slot. They were able to put it just inside the far post. I think Christian got a piece of it, but at 7 minutes left in the first, it would be 1-0 Tigers. And an obnoxious goal horn. Alex on the face-off, wins it back for Connor. Connor chips it up the boards, not out of the zone. Tigers swarm along the puck, and they come out with it. Walking to the side of the net, shot off of Christian and behind the net. Ezra sends it up the near boards. I'm sorry, it's Kellen. Puck comes out of the zone. Tigers turn it back around. Holden keeping it out of the zone. Puck tipped back into our end. Rubitos trying to get it out. Comes to the far corner. Kellen sends it up the far boards. Out to the blue line. A shot blocked. Thrown behind our net. Bruce harassing the player along the end boards. Kept in our zone. A dump to the far corner. Wrapping around behind our net. Pass hit a skate. Comes to the slot. Alex picks it up, skates through neutral zone, and shot was blocked. Another shot goes wide behind the net. Thrown behind their net again, and Tigers turn it around. Thrown off the near boards. Holden picks it up in neutral zone. Pass across for Anthony, and it's taken away at the blue line, sent to the far corner. Thrown around the boards. Teague chasing it to their blue line with the steal in the neutral zone, throws it to the end boards. And there's an arm in the air. Tigers are going to come into our zone, and they're going to gain a one-man advantage. Max touches the puck, and there's a whistle. Teague's going to the box for roughing. So 5:11 left in the first, and we will be shorthanded for 2 minutes. Max on the face-off. Ref very grumpy about the face-off setup. We'll do it again. Max on the face-off. He wins it back to the corner. Comes back to Max. Throws it up the near boards. It's kept in. Max with the steal, but not controlled. Bouncing back to Max again. He passes across. Tipped by Cam into the offensive zone. Tigers steal. Turn it around in their end. Skating through neutral. Into our zone. They're offside. But we'll wait a second or two to blow the whistle. 4:47 left in the first. 1:36 left in the penalty kill. Max on the face-off again. He's got Cam and McKenna to his left and right. Anthony back on defense. Tied up in the skates. It's pushed into our zone. Pushed to the slot and a shot and a couple of pad saves by Christian. Max picked up the loose puck. It comes loose again, and it goes back to Max. Poke check, and Max chases it into their zone, but he's pushed down. That'll be a penalty on the Tigers for interference. With 1:15 left in our penalty, so it'll be 4-on-4 for a minute and a quarter. 4:26 left in the first period. Alex on the face-off, tied up in his skates. Hands it off to Grayson. He dumps it around the end boards. Tied up in the far corner. Comes out for Connor Bruce. He throws it back for Alex. He backhanded shot goes wide to the near corner. Tigers bring it off the boards. Comes back to the corner. Centering pass. Intercepted. Skated behind their own net. Nice job breaking up the play. The Tigers regain the puck, skated into our zone. Out of the far corner. Alex with the steal, but it's sent over the net, up the near boards. Another centering pass goes to the far corner. Tigers regain the puck, and it's sent behind our net. Again, Tigers with the puck, turn it around. Play broken up, sent to the blue line, but not out of the zone. Pass top of the circle, shot over the net. Tigers regain the puck along the far boards. 3 seconds left in Teague's penalty. Shot blocked in front by Connor and not able to get it out of our zone. Another shot blocked. Henrik picks it up, throws it off the far boards. And Tigers dump it back into our zone. Puck comes to Connor Bruce. Skates out of our zone through neutral. Jumps into the end boards. Kellen picks it up in the far corner. Throws it through the slot. Goes all the way to the near boards. Holden sends it back for Connor Bruce. He passes back to Holden. He passes back to Connor. Passes out to shot. Alex's shot is blocked in front. Another shot and a goal! Oh, how is that not in? The puck gets sent all the way down the ice as time expires on the Colorado Springs penalty. I could have swore that went in the net behind the goaltender. They apparently disagree. We'll have a face-off in their zone. 2:25 left in the first period. Back to 5-on-5 hockey. Ezra on the face-off. Thrown on goal and a pad save by the goaltender. Puck comes up the far boards, thrown back to the far corner. Tigers control, bring it out into the neutral zone. McKenna pinching the player off the puck. Thrown around the end boards. Tigers regain it, dump it to the near corner. Holden picks it up, skates out of our zone, dumps it into the end of their end. End of their end. Tigers bring the puck out of their end zone. Nice poke check by McKenna at the blue line, making them offsides with 1:38 left in the first. Ref is a stickler on the face-off. Tied up in skates. Tigers bring it into our zone. Anthony with a poke check, and it's sent out to the neutral zone. Teague passes up for Max. He gets it in front. The goaltender sends it to the far corner. Kept in their zone. Anthony skates it and sends it around the inboards. Comes back for Henrik, and he throws it back to the near corner. Max chasing it into the far corner. Tied up in their skates. Tigers come out with it. Pass out to the blue line. Tigers come into our zone. Nice poke check by Henrik, and he throws it not out of the zone. It's tied up in his legs. And Teague sends it to Max, but it's turned around. And just a loose puck. Teague finally sends it over for Cam. Cam skating it out of our end. Kicks it to center. It's bouncing around. Finally comes to Max, and he throws it on goal. And a goaltender has to make a save with 30 seconds left in the first period. Tigers regrouping. Puck comes to the near boards. Kellen picks it up. Has it taken away. Comes loose. And it trickles over to the near corner. Comes out to the top of the face-off circle. Pass up to the blue line. Tigers with a long shot. Goes to the near boards. Sent back to the corner. Turnaround shot and a stick save by Christian. He hangs on with 1 second left on the clock. Teague on the face-off. Puck comes to the near boards. Time will expire on the first. So we'll go to the second, down by 1. Jags 0, Colorado Springs 1. Teague on the face-off. Pushed forward. Kicked over for Max. He skates through on goal, and the goaltender covers. 7 seconds in, we'll have another face-off deep in their zone. Teague on the face-off again. Pushes it to the corner. Tigers turn it around. Skate out of their end. Into our zone. Thrown across, tipped in. 15:40 left in the second period. That'll be 2-0 Tigers. I think something happened to this ref at a face-off that has scarred him. Alex on the face-off. Tigers come out of it with the puck to the far corner. Centering pass blocked by Henrik. Throws it up the far boards. Bounces over a stick out to neutral. Turned around and dumped into our zone. McKenna picks it up along the end boards, pushes it up, taken away, walked in front, a backhanded shot. Christian with another save. Rebound goes to the far corner. Henrik chases it behind our net. Passes up the near boards. Gets sent back to the end boards. McKenna throws it around the boards. Grayson chipping at it. Tigers keep it in our zone. A long shot goes wide. Bounces off the end boards. Passes back to the point. They pass back up the near boards, sent around to the end boards. McKenna shoving him into the corner. Last interfering with my view. I can't see much down there. Puck comes up the near boards, kept in our zone. Pass across the blue line. Walk in, a long shot, tipped in. 14-28, and your Jags are down by 3. Ezra on the face-off. Puck comes, sends back to Holden. Throws it off the far boards for Ezra. Tipped into the offensive zone. Tigers pick up the puck, pass over, and sent to the far boards. Holden tries to keep it in the offensive zone. It's tipped up into the bench. We'll have a face-off deep in our zone. It looks like, well, we saw Tommy come off the ice a little bit ago. He blocked a shot with his skate. That combined with the kneeing that wasn't called yesterday. I'm sure he's not filling up to 100% right now. Hopefully he's back soon. Puck comes deep into our zone for icing with 14:02 left in the second. Max on the face-off. Thrown to the near corner. Ezra racing in. Chips it along the end boards. Gets tied up. Tigers chip it up the near boards. It comes out to the neutral zone. Holden pressuring. Not able to keep it out of our zone. Pass to the top of the slot. Poke check by Ezra. Gets the puck to Max. He skates through neutral into the offensive end. The shot and the save by the goaltender. Rebound goes to the end boards. Ezra hands it off. Tied up in the corner with Gubatos. Puck comes free. Max picks it up. Centering pass and a shot from Ezra is blocked. Max turns it around in the near corner. Circles around one player. Brings it off the boards. A shot off the mask. And the Tigers dump it out of the zone. Anthony skating back, picking up the puck in our zone. Passes up to Max at the near boards. He regroups in the neutral zone. Gets taken down. Holden pushes it into the offensive end. And sent to the far corner. Ezra tied up in the front of the net. The Tigers bring it back out to neutral. Steal by Connor. Passes across for Henrik. He passes up for Ezra. He skates it into the offensive zone. A shot and a save by the goaltender who hangs on. 12:38 left in the second period. Teague on the faceoff. Tigers get it to the blue line. Connor sent it back to the end boards. Tigers pick it up behind their net. Pass to the far corner and up the far boards. Skating out to neutral. Into our zone. Walked in. A shot. Went off of Christian's shoulder to the near boards. Pushed out to neutral. Cam picks it up. Skating in the offensive zone. Shot. And it is grabbed by the glove. I'm not sure if he knew it was in his glove. We'll have another face-off in their zone with 12:09 left in this second. Teague on the face-off. Back and forth between the skates. Tigers come out with it, turned around along the far boards. Henrik sends it through neutral. Tigers turn it around, then chip it into our zone. Into the far corner. Tigers bring it out to the slot, tied up. It's sent behind our net. Nice poke check by Henrik. Their shot's blocked. Over to the far boards. Swept behind our net. Thrown out to the blue line. Walking in, and a shot goes just wide. Bouncing up the far boards. Teague sweeping at it, but it's kept in our zone. Nice poke check. Kept in our zone, though. Turn around. Kellen trying to get it out. Still kept in our zone. Tigers with the puck along the near boards. Walked out and a shot and a stick save by Christian. Puck sent in front. Another shot blocked in front. Another shot tipped wide. Bouncing to the near boards. Tigers keep it in our zone. Shot blocked and goes up the far boards. Puck comes out of our zone finally. Tigers turn around at center. Skating into our zone. Walking in front. Goal. 10:32 left in the second. It'll be 4-0. Not sure what they're discussing over there. It's a little early for dinner plans. I would think they already had lunch. They're talking with the the scorekeeper. There's a whistle. There's some pointing at the bench. More discussion. Another whistle. Now there's discussion at our bench too. I'm not sure what they're talking about. It's fine. Everything's fine. We're all fine here. Except we're still discussing. All right. Finally, I think we're ready. Off the face-off. Tigers control. Pushed up the near boards. McKenna chips at it. It's sent to the near corner. Tigers skate behind our net. McKenna ties up the player. Turned around. Pass out the top of the slot. And a shot blocked in front. Grayson chasing it out of the zone. Tigers turn it around. Laid up the far boards. Turn around behind our net. Pass out to the top of the slot. Alex picks it up, skating through neutral. Into their zone. Pushed over to the far boards. Centering pass for a shot off the post, and the goaltender makes the save, or at least a catch, and hangs on with 9:45 left in the second. Max on the face-off. Tigers control. Push to the near corner. Kellen with the steal, but it's turned back around behind their net. Tigers bring it up the near boards. Through neutral. Kellen tying him up as they come into our zone. Puck comes loose. Kellen picks it up. Passes up for Max at center ice. He skates in the offensive zone. He gets poke checked. Turns around in the far corner. Throws it behind their net. Kellen sends it back to the far corner. Tigers pick it up along the far board, send it out to neutral. Not able to keep it in the zone. It comes back out. And the Tigers bring it off the far boards into our zone. Puck sent behind our net. Ezra sends it to the far corner. Ties up the player. Sends it back to the end boards. Tigers pick it up. McKenna sweeps it away from the Tigers, and it comes to the near boards. Looks like we lost an edge. Puck's tied up. Comes out to the slot. And it's sent to the near or far corner. Tigers turn it around. Tigers bring it out of the corner and comes to the top of the slot. And a shot goes well wide. Another shot hits the near boards, but still kept in our zone. Puck comes back to the far boards. Sent behind our net. Ezra picks it up, skating out of our zone. Long pass misses Max and goes to the far corner, but no icing. Tigers, pass tipped. Tigers still bring it out of their zone through center into our end. McKenna with the steal. And we dump it down the ice for icing with 7:43 left in the second period, down 4-0. I believe it's Teague on the face-off. Tigers control. Thrown towards the net, chipped on goal. Christian with another save. The puck sent up the far boards for Alex. He passes. His pass to Cam intercepted, but pushed into the offensive zone. Alex with a turnaround shot and a glove save by the goaltender, who hangs on with 7:23 left in the second period. Off the face-off and a shot, saved by the goaltender. Rebound comes to the side of the net, chipped out a few times, still tied up in skates. On the end boards. Sent out for Bruce and a shot. I think everyone lost it. Now there's a whistle. Not sure why. Possibly the net came off the mooring. On the face-off, wins it back for Connor. Connor tries his shot and it's blocked. Tigers send the puck through the neutral zone. They say no icing. Sent around the end boards. Puck comes out to the face-off circle, back to the boards. Not out of the zone. Grayson sends it. It's sent out to neutral zone. Cam gets it in the offensive zone. Back and forth. Kept in their zone. Tied up along the near boards. Tigers come out with the puck in behind their net. Cam pressuring. Passed up the near boards. It bounces deep into our zone. Connor back to play the puck. Throws it around the boards. Tigers come off the boards with it. And a shot and a goal. 6:05 left in the second. Off the face-off. Puck comes back to Alex. He skates into offensive zone. It's taken down. The puck comes loose to the near corner. Tigers bring it back out to the face-off circle. Chipped in the neutral zone. Henrik tying up the player in the corner, turning it around, sending it up the far boards. Puck finally comes loose, and Alex chips it up for Grayson. And not out. Comes back to Teague. And along the boards. Puck comes back out. Grayson pushes it out to neutral. I'm sorry, that was Anthony. Tigers send it deep into our zone. Henrik pass up the near boards, sent back off sides. 5:08 left in the second period. We'll have a face-off in the neutral zone. Ezra on the face-off. Still tied up in skates. Finally comes loose, maybe. Anthony with the steal. And it's sent back into our zone to the slot. Another shot. The save by Christian. He hangs on. 4:50 left in the second. Ezra on the face-off again. McKenna sends it to the blue line, out to neutral. Pass up for Max, doesn't quite connect. Ezra picks up the loose puck, skates in the offensive zone, gets taken down. There's a whistle, and we will be going on a power play for tripping. 4:36 left in the second period. Goal would go a long way to easing the pain at this point. Teague taking the face off. Wins it back, pass back to Max. He passes it across for Anthony. He skates it to the near corner, lost the handle, regains it behind their net. Brings it out of the far corner, turned around and cross-checked. That wasn't called. Max at the blue line throws it to the end boards. Kellen with the cross-check behind their net. Tigers turn it around along the near boards. Skate behind their own net, stop, turn around. Dumped off the near glass. Teague keeping it in control. Pushes back to our zone. Pass across for Max. Max throws it up the near or far boards. Brought into their zone. A shot blocked. Landon turns it around out of the corner. Pass back and a shot from Header goes over the net and up the near boards. Holden keeping in the offensive zone. Passes to the far boards. Dumped to the far corner. Teague trying to center it. Hit a skate. Comes back to Teague. He passes back to Max. Long shot and a save by the goaltender. Bouncing in front. Swept just wide of the net. Sent in front. Hendrick pass back to Holden. I'm sorry, it's Teague back to Holden. Back to the corner. Sticks very high along the boards. Tigers skated out from behind their own net. Nice poke check by Landon. And he keeps it in the offensive zone. Tied up in front and dumped out to the neutral zone. 15 seconds left in the power play. And it'll be icing. 10 seconds left. 2:46 left in the second period. Off the face-off, out to the blue line, but sent back to the near corner. Alex chipping at it along the end boards, tied up with the player. No whistle. Cam's chasing the puck to the far corner. Puck comes to Alex, and it's taken away. Penalty has expired. We're back to 5-on-5 hockey. Holden chasing the puck back to our zone, turns it around in the near corner, sent up the near boards. Ezra sends it to the blue line, bounces out to neutral zone. Puck comes back into our zone. There's a whistle. I think they're offsides. Off the face-off, Alex sends it to the near boards. Connor sends it out of the zone. Ezra digging for it. Tigers turn it around. Brought off the near boards. Ezra pressuring. Tigers bring it back into our zone. Walk it to the right, face-off circle, drop pass, and a long shot. Goes wide. Bouncing up the near boards. Tigers keep it in our end. Ezra with the steal. He throws it across the ice. Tigers regroup in their zone. Tigers bring it out of their zone and dump it into ours. It'll be icing with 1:32 left in the second period. Teague on the faceoff. 1:32 left in the second period. Puck comes loose to the far faceoff circle. The Tigers sweep it out to neutral. Chipped deep in our zone. Henrik tying up the player, sends it up the near boards. Grayson sends it to the blue line, but not out. It's sent down and on goal. Christian had to make a save, send it to the far corner. Tigers pass out to the top of the slot. Long shot and a pad save by Christian. Sends the rebound to the near corner. Comes back out. Another shot. Another save by Christian. And he covers with 57 seconds left in the second period. Off the face-off, it's tied up. Tigers come out with it, skate to the side of the net, throw it through the slot. Puck picked up. Ezra skates it up the far boards. Shot blocked wide. Stop behind their net. Grayson tries to get it out front. The Tigers come out with it, skating through neutral. In front. Teague sends it out to neutral and stops in the offensive zone. Grayson chasing behind their net. Tigers skating out to neutral into our zone. Centering pass goes through the crease to the near corner. Pass back to the blue line. They walk it in. Another shot. A stick save by Christian. Tigers bring it out of the corner as time expires on the second period. We'll go to the third period down by 5. A lot of work ahead for your Jags. Okay, 15 on the clock. We'll switch ends one more time for the third period. Jags have dug themselves a deep hole to dig out of. Teague taking the face off. Thrown to the near boards. Tigers sweep it into our zone. Connor picks it up, throws it off the near boards. Kept in. Puck comes to Teague. Pushes it out to the neutral zone. Ezra turns it around, pushes it into their end. Teague helps it out. Tigers turn it around, bring it out through neutral. Into our zone. They're offsides. So we'll have another face-off. 15:32 left in the third. Alex on the face-off. Puck sent deep into our zone. Connor tied up in the corner, sends it for Cam. Max tries to get out of the zone. He throws it deep in the offensive end. Cam pressuring the goaltender. The puck comes up the near boards. Comes back to Cam, or it's thrown wide of the net. Comes back to Cam. And the Tigers bring it back out of their zone into ours. McKenna harassing the player. It is shot off the post. Comes to the near board, sent behind our net. Holden turns it around, sends it back to the near corner. Passes up for Max. Steps around one defender, skating through neutral. Pushes in the offensive zone, has it poke checked away. Puck at the blue line. Alex and Max tied up. Tigers bring it back into our zone. Pushed wide by McKenna. Nice poke check in the corner. Breaking up the plate, lifting the stick. Being a general nuisance. Sending it up the near boards. It comes out to the top of the slot. Cam dumps it down the ice. It'll be icing. 14-16 left in the third period. Teague on the face-off. Still loose in the skates. Bouncing towards Christian. He covers. Gets a stoppage with 14-11 left in the third. Teague on the face-off again. Tigers keep it in our zone, dump it back to the near corner. Henrik picks it up behind our net. Passes up the far boards, kept in our zone. Long shot, goes wide. Bounces up the near boards. Drug off the boards and pass to the blue line. Teague picking it up, skating into the offensive zone. Push to the near corner, sends it to the end boards, and the Tigers come back out with it. Turn it around behind their own net. Teague pressuring. Puck comes loose. Anthony sweeps at it. And I wondered if that was going to get called. Be 2 minutes for tripping at 13:31 left in the third. We'll go back down to our end for another shorthanded face-off. Ezra on the face-off. Puck comes free. Tigers pass up the far boards. Pass out the top of the slot. Long shot and a stick save by Christian. Rebound brought out of the near corner. Turned around, brought off the boards. Shot and another stick save by Christian. Rebound sent to the end boards. Sent off the near boards and not able to get out of the zone. Puck comes back to the blue line, but not out. Well, I'll take it. Ref says it's out, it's out. be offsides, and we'll have a face-off just outside of our zone. 1:31 left in the penalty kill. Alex taking the face-off. He's got Holden to his left, Grayson to his right. Connor Bruce back on defense. Grayson sweeps it forward. Tigers turn it around, dump it off the near boards into our zone. Connor sweeping at it behind our net. Puck comes to the Tigers along the far boards. Back and forth. Connor Bruce picks it up, turns around, throws it forward for Grayson. He passes up for Alex. He's tied up at the blue line, taken down, and no call. The Tigers regroup behind their own net. 1 minute left in the penalty kill. Skating up between the face-off circles, out to neutral. Into our zone, push to the far boards. Puck comes free. McKenna throws it around the end boards. Tigers turn it around along the near boards. Brought out to the slot. McKenna finally poke checks it away for Grayson. Played with a high stick at center ice. It'll bounce down to the end of the ice for a whistle. 28 seconds left in the penalty kill. Teague on the faceoff. 11:59 left in the third period. Tied up in Cam's skates. Puck trickles out of their zone. Thrown up the near boards. Pushed deep into our zone. Turned around in the corner. Brought off the boards. Teague harassing behind the net. Pass to the top of the slot. Long shot is wide. Turnaround shot and a pad save by Christian. Puck comes up the near boards out to neutral. Penalty has expired. We're back to 5-on-5. The puck dumped behind our net. McKenna throws it back to the far corner. Tigers steal. Brought out in front. And a regain the puck and the shot blocked in front. Bouncing to the near corner. Sent up the near boards and out to neutral. Arms in the air will be icing with 11:05 left in the third period. Not sure what the delay is. Ref's talking to Christian. I don't know. I guess everything's fine now. Teague taking the face off. Tigers control. Turnaround shot and a save by Christian. He hangs on. 11:01 left in the third. Teague on the face-off again. Off the face-off, Holden throws it up the near boards. Chipped off the glass. Kellen picks it back up, skating into the offensive zone. Walks in a shot and a blocker save. Tiger slid into the cage. Taking it off the moorings and stopping play at 10:50 left in the third. Teague on the face-off again. Sent to the end boards. Tigers pick it up, skate behind their own net, come out through neutral into our zone. Connor Bruce pushes him wide. Throwing up the near boards. Connor Bruce. Pass doesn't quite connect. It's bounce off the near boards. Kellen chasing into their zone. Tigers turning it around. Get it out of their zone. There's a whistle for roughing. So we will go on a penalty kill for another 2 minutes with 10:20 left in the third. Max on the face-off. Pushes it to the blue line, but no. Nice job. Chipping it out to neutral. Is Landon. Tigers turn around, dump it back into our zone. Anthony ties up the player, forgets the puck. Tigers pick it up, skate up the near boards. Drop back to the corner. Centering pass tipped. Turnaround shot and a save by Christian. Max ties up the player, pushes it to the far boards. Anthony fighting for the puck along the end boards. Tigers come out from behind the net to the near corner. Smack the ref in the head with the stick. So there's that. Puck comes free out to neutral. Landon, lost an edge trying to get the puck. Tigers bring it back into our zone. A long shot and a save by Christian. He hangs on with 1:08 left in the penalty kill. 9:28 left in the third. Not sure what happened, but something's bothering Christian. He's going to go off. Sawyer's going to step in with 9:28 left in the third. I didn't see anything that specifically happened to indicate what the issue is for Christian. Hopefully he's all right. We'll take this face-off in our zone with 1:08 left in the penalty kill. Tigers control the puck, jump it behind our net. Puck comes loose to the near corner. McKenna harassing. Cam chasing it into the near corner. Puck comes out to the blue line, pass across the top of the circle. A long shot and a stick save by Sawyer. Tigers turn it around, back in the spotlight behind the net. Puck comes to the top of the slot and a shot blocked in front. Puck sent up the near boards. Tigers control. Ezra harassing. Not able to get out of the zone. It finally comes out. Tigers turning around at their blue line. Jumps to the blue line. Ezra keeping it out of our zone. The ref helped out with that. Tigers turn it back around, skating into our zone. But they're offside, so we'll come out to the neutral zone for a face-off with 15 seconds left in the penalty kill. 8:35 left in the third. Thanks to Brian for reminding me that my son was coming in cold in the third period. Minute left in the penalty kill. And we're offsides again, which is the ideal scenario for every goalie parent. Sarcasm is but one of my talents. 12 seconds left in the penalty kill. Landon taking the face off. Ugh, I'll get their names eventually. That was Cam. Grayson sends it to near boards. Tigers turn it around. Henrik chases to the far boards, ties up the player. This pass just doesn't connect. Penalty has expired. We're back to 5-on-5. Drug down. Tigers not able to get a shot off, and it's sent up the far boards. Pass across comes to the near boards. Tigers bring it in well offsides. That time it was definitely offsides. 7:57 left in the third period. Brian says I can blame him for my jokes. So Kellen fighting for it along the far boards. Henrik pushes it forward and chips it out. Kellen pushes it along the far boards and drags it into the offensive zone. Pass over for Max and a shot over the net. Brought back off the boards, thrown in front, but it's blocked. Tied up along the boards. Some retaliation back and forth, thrown off a skate. Kellen not able to get a shot off, and the Tigers able to bring it out of their zone into ours. Holden breaking up the play. Puck comes off the end boards, sent to the far corner. Kellen pushing up the far boards and is sent right back behind our net. Holden picking up in the near corner. Pass up to Max, doesn't quite connect. The Tigers send it across. Tigers skate into the far corner. Tied up in the corner. Alex sending it out. Tigers a shot and a stick save by the goaltender. Tigers regain the puck, throw it behind the net. Bouncing up the far boards. Tigers keep it in our zone. Another shot and a stick save by Sawyer. He throws it to the end boards. Tigers throw it up the far boards. Anthony tying up the player. It's sent out to neutral. Tigers regroup at center. Skate back into our zone. Dragging a shot and a stick or a pad save by Sawyer. He hangs on. He gets tagged in the head. I don't like that. 6:07 left in the third. And Liz doesn't like your jokes, apparently, Brian. He'll try harder. Ezra taking the face off. So picky on the face off. Brought out of the zone. Cam hands it over for McKenna. She pushes it to the blue line. Sorry, Landon. I got the numbers confused. Connor keeps it out of our zone. Comes back to the Tigers. They bring it in. Nice poke check by Connor. The Tigers regain the puck. Comes back to Connor. His pass hit Cam's skate, and it's sent up for Alex. Skates to the blue line. It's got Landon to his left. A long shot tipped up into the netting. 5:34 left in this third. We will have a face-off deep in their zone. Ezra on the face-off. Puck comes loose to the far boards and is sent all the way down the ice. It'll be icing with 5:27 left in the third. Ezra on the face-off again. Tied up in the skates. Comes out with a long shot and a glove save by the goaltender, and he covers. We'll have another face-off in their zone. Ezra on the face-off. Sweeps it back, sent to the far boards, and it comes loose out to the neutral. Connor passes over to McKenna. McKenna chips it in the offensive zone, but we're offsides. Teague on the face-off. Tigers control, throw it off the near boards. McKenna breaks up the play, gets it back out to neutral. Connor sends it back out to center. The Tigers turn it around. Skating into our zone. In front, slap tap, but not on goal. And there's a whistle. Not sure. I think the net's off the moorings. I don't think there's a penalty. 4:46 left in the third. Teague on the face-off again. And Teague's getting kicked out of the face-off. Max taking over. Puck finally dropped. Hendrick picks up the loose puck, throws it up the far boards, kept in our zone. Thrown in front. Sawyer sweeps it to the near corner. Turned around by the Tigers. Brought off the boards. Hendrick picks up the loose puck. Oh, sorry. That's Anthony. He passes up. Misses. So it'll be icing with 4:22 left in the third period. There's almost enough snow to make a snowman around our net posts. I don't know if that's an indication of their ice or of how often we've been tied up around the net. Another lecture at the face-off. Max sweeps it to the blue line, bouncing out of the zone. Grayson picks it up, passes up for Max. He walks into the offensive zone, shot over the net. Bouncing up the far boards and chipped out to neutral. And now we've got the Tigers coming into our zone. Lost it in his own skates. Comes back to a Tiger and shot. And there's another save by Sawyer. He sweeps it out. Grayson passes to the inboards for icing with 3:54 left in the third. Ezra on the face-off. Tigers control. Another shot. Another save by Kurt Sawyer. He hangs on to 3:50 left in the third. Ezra taking the face-off. Sweeps it to the near boards. Holden chipping at it. Tigers keep it in our zone, thrown wide of the net. Brought off the inboards, thrown out to the blue line. Long shot tipped wide. Bouncing to the side of the net, pushed back to the far boards, to the blue line. Another long shot goes to the near corner. Turned around along the inboards. Tigers fanned on the pass. Another pass to shot and another save by Sawyer. Bouncing in front. Kept in our zone. Another shot and a save by Sawyer, and he hangs on with 3:12 left in the third period. Teague on the face-off. Pushed back, and a long shot, a stick save by Sawyer. Rebound goes to the far boards. Thrown wide of the net, bouncing up the near boards. Tigers bring it off the boards, throws it in front, bouncing. Grayson picks it up, turns it around, throws it off the inboards. Tigers keeping it in our end. Puck comes to Landon. He gets it to the blue line, but not out. Puck comes to Holden. He gets it out to the neutral zone. Teague sweeps it into their end. Teague brings it off the boards. Turn around and a shot off the stick. The goaltender. Another shot goes wide. Teague digging for it, ties up the player along the boards. Tigers bring it up. Skating out of their zone. Pass through the neutral zone, tipped on goal. Sawyer covers. We'll have a whistle with 2:12 left in the third period. Off the face-off. Puck comes out. At the top of the slot. A shot blocked. Another stick save by Sawyer. McKenna throws it out to neutral. Puck trickling down into the offensive zone. Cam pressuring in their zone. Max ties up the player in the neutral zone. Anthony helping out. Puck comes free, and Max kicks it right to as they come into the offensive zone. They're offsides. 1:48 left in the third. Off the face-off, Max has it poke checked away. Ezra pressuring along the near boards, ties up the player, and Max is able to get the puck out of our zone. Cam picks it up, skating in the offensive end. Backhanded shot and a stick save by the goaltender who covers with 1:47 left in the third period. Off the face-off. Puck comes out for Henrik. Pushes it up the near boards. Into the offensive zone. Keeping it pressed down towards the corner. It's turned around, but kept in their zone. And it trickles out. Pass back for Connor. And the Tigers steal skating into our zone. A shot and a stick save by Sawyer. 1:18 left in the third. Another shot and another save. Sawyer hangs on to get a whistle. Teague on the face-off. Puck comes loose off the face-off, but kept in and thrown up into the netting. It's a 2-minute delay, a game penalty. Well, it's not now, but 1:12 left in the third period. Wishful thinking. Off the face-off, Tigers push it to the far face-off circle. Kellen digging for it, pushes it out for Grayson. Has it poke checked away at center ice. Tigers skate it to the blue line. That wasn't tripping. Long pass for Grayson at the near boards. Gets it in the offensive zone, hands it off for Kellen. Kellen pushes to the right side. Backhand shot bouncing in front, and the goaltender covers. 47 seconds left in the game. Teague on the face-off again. More minutia from the ref about face-off etiquette. Face-off lining. Wins it back in this direction. Tigers regain the puck. Skating through neutral into our zone. Long shot. Sawyer got a piece of it, and it was just inside the net, or inside the post. So it'll be 6-0 with 36 seconds left in the game. Teague on the face-off. There's 36 seconds. Just drop the puck. Bouncing at their blue line. Tigers bring it up the far boards. Into the far corner. Pass back to the blue line. Across to the other point. A long shot and a stick save by Sawyer. Loose in front. Teague picks it up. Skating into neutral. Into the offensive zone. Push to the far corner. Drops it back up the far boards. 6 seconds left, and it comes out of the zone. Tigers come into our end. Through the slot, and a shot at the buzzer. Taken down as he runs into the goaltender. So that will do it. Final will be 6-0. Not the game we were hoping for today. Our next game, I believe, is next weekend, maybe the weekend after. Until then, thanks. Go Jags.